Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching The Witcher Season 2, Episode 5, Turn Your Back. This is the halfway point of the season. I feel like the stakes are really going to start ramping up. I'm loving Season 5. Season 5 and Season 2. I'm very excited for Season 5 and 6 and 7. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go. Is this in Sintra? Oh lord, recruiting everyone. Fuck. Mm-mm.
But when others learn of her, they'll hunt too, and we must get to her first.
Ooh.
And they're willing too, but I'm not working for Nilfgaard.
More and more people are going to go after Ciri, aren't they, as they learn who she is and what she is. Oh lord. This isn't good, especially if he knows who Ciri is, and he definitely will have a grudge against her family, even though Ciri obviously did nothing. Ooh.
Or if this is about your wife, your mistress, niece,
of course.
then I can probably.
Hello, yes, yeah.
Oh lord, this guy does not seem like someone we want anywhere near, anyone we care about, including Jaskier. And Yennefer doesn't have magic right now.
I apologize for the abrupt intrusion. Time was of the essence.
You have any idea how completely fucking insane you sound?
He's telling the truth, unfortunately.
My friend is missing. And I fear he may have gotten into some trouble with one of the guards down at the door.
I love her.
I need you to go to the garrison.
I love her cloak, but it does draw the eye. But it matches her eyes.
The sheer force that it would require, what could possibly do that?
You're the expert.
Hmm.
Why don't you tell me?
I love him.
You only came here to study monoliths?
We came here to help the elves.
You want to help the elves by joining a kingdom that regularly massacres whole villages?
Exactly, that's what invalidates everything they're arguing.
So be reasonable, we're passing through. We don't want
Dead fucking death! You're fucking stupid! I said! Where you are?
We don't know that Elder Blood can make Witcher mutagen. We don't even really know what it is.
I watched my men die. Ciri's here. And you arrived too. It can't be a coincidence.
But it
She's a
can.
living, breathing.
I'm not desperate. I'm hopeful.
But what you put boys through isn't worth
A
it.
long time.
I can understand from his point of view, though.
If we do this, it's because she wants to. She gets to decide.
I love Triss. She's getting stronger. Oh.
All you have to do is ask. No.
Oh, Yennefer. Oh.
What's wrong with your hand? It's usually back at the first place I found him. Bottom of a bottle.
Tied to a chair. Has he given the... Surely by now he's given whatever information the guy wants, or is dead, which, fingers crossed he's not. Oh, God. Though he doesn't have... If he wants to know where Geralt is, he doesn't know.
I don't know where they are. I don't know where they're going, and I don't know why you're doing this to me.
He really doesn't know, but he wouldn't believe it. Oh,
He does not have weaknesses!
I knew I'd find you here, you lazy lout.
I love you, Yennefer.
Home to rot.
Have it your way.
No, please don't hurt us! Leave her alone, please! She's done nothing!
Holy shit, Yennefer, I love you. She came back for him, and that is everything to me. They are everything to me.
Oh, shit.
Yep. How do we seal this off exactly?
I have to go down there.
We have to go down there.
Jesus Christ, both of you have a death wish. Do I understand?
When the conjunction happened, it was wasn't just the elves.
Trish should be the one be here too.
Wolves, spheres of beasts collided too.
My grandmother, she hated the elves.
Sometimes our deepest hate is for the things we cannot change about ourselves.
How are you so sure it will work?
I'm not.
So how many boys would you kill?
You have to test it on me first.
No. Shouldn't be used on anybody.
Forget it. I'll not take that chance with you.
But you'll take it with other people.
Because you're Geralt's child.
Not a child.
But you're
Because
his.
we care about you.
And I care.
I
About all of
know.
you. You'll die. And all of those boys suffering will have been for nothing.
Ciri, no. No one should have this, least of all you. God, and how would it react with your magic?
Destroyed. Let me help heal something for once. I'm meant for this.
Ciri. It's not worth it. I don't think anybody should be having it.
Junction. Leftover points of impact.
Yes, I've read books before.
I thought the monsters didn't exist. What if the monoliths aren't points of impact? What if they're the conduit?
Ooh.
I worry about you mages more and more.
I don't think that's the craziest theory.
Perhaps humans.
I don't think it's worth it. Though I can understand having the witches is worth it, but...
It worked.
Oh god. How could it counteract with her blood and then you wouldn't have any more elder blood?
Who the fuck?
That's my job. What's going on here? Are we working this morning, love?
Oh! Oh, she's so scary.
She's so scary. I love it. She's not even a mage anymore and he's still terrified of her.
We'll find you! In there!
Oh.
Have you thought about Geralt? What he'd say?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sick of feeling lost.
I know, my girl, this isn't the way.
Everything I was told my whole life you're doing won't change any of that. But it might help me find a new truth.
Geralt is your new truth, just like you are now.
Genetic memories that tell the story of who you really are.
This is much better than becoming a witcher and dying, potentially.
It's dangerous.
Oh, the different corners of her mind. It's hard to face all she's lost.
Don't be afraid. Nothing can hurt you here. All of this, it's you.
That's you, my love.
You've been right here.
Oh my goodness.
Would you like a story?
What is this?
This isn't how it's supposed to work at all.
They'd kill her if they knew.
It's a prophecy. Maybe it's not true.
It doesn't matter if it's true.
Oh,
It
her
only matters if
parents.
people believe it.
Oh. Sweetheart.
The boat's ready.
They tried to flee with her. Did her grandmother kill them when they tried to flee?
Cover of darkness.
Ciri, come on, wait. I don't want to leave him yet. Something isn't right.
Something isn't right.
If the original spheres are still out there somewhere, and our monoliths are calling to them, then the monsters aren't new, they're just new to here.
Oh my goodness.
Thought someone might be here. A woman. Yennefer.
Yennefer.
He's gonna find out she's alive, right?
Oh,
You were already planning on coming here, though he did think she was a Nilfgaard spy.
You know Yenna?
Yen.
She's not dead, tell him, please.
Me too.
Jesus Christ, someone mentioned that she's alive.
I thought after Sodden, after everything they did to her at Aretusa, she would make her way here for refuge.
Please.
After Son, Yen's alive.
Oh, back to stress. Oh my god.
The human she fell in love with.
Evelyn's story.
I so guessed that.
She's dying.
Could have united our races. And now my sweet daughter. You will destroy them.
Holy shit. Ciri.
Child of elder blood. Child of wrath. The time of contempt is nigh.
Oh fuck.
The world.
Holy shit. Oh. Fucking hell. When she's afraid, she calls to Geralt. Holy shit. Oh.
Something is ending.
Oh my god.
Because of you. You will destroy us all.
No. Not if we help her, train her, protect her.
No one can stop it.
Fuck. It's not gonna happen. He will protect you however he can. Is it whenever she uses her power, one comes through? Oh, Geralt, come and stop this. She's not making this in a clear-head decision. You can't do this before Geralt's here. She's his daughter.
What are you doing?
Thank God!
She's meant to be.
Will I ever think about the consequences? No
Oh
matter
God.
how hard I train, no matter what I do, it will never be enough.
You are already enough, Cirilla.
You are.
You are extraordinary.
You are.
I want to be like you.
That is not how it works. Neither you nor I can just forget who we are. We can't kill our feelings. Our best chance is to kill the hatred that we may hold on to.
He is such a good dad. He was desperate. I'm bloody stressed. We're getting answers though, and that is everything to me.
I want you to have all the information I do.
This is such an interesting partnership.
I've never had a partner before.
Well, I'm afraid. Okay, here's
Neither
back.
have I.
See, this is proof that we could find a way between humans and elves.
The next ship is due soon. Okay, here.
Uh-huh.
Welcome home.
Things have changed. Power struggle would help us weaken Nilfgaard. Because all their claims of being noble and good fall to dust when they slaughter villages and innocents. Yennefer, this isn't the way.
Forest. The deathless mother nesting in trees.
Oh, my love.
Back to the forest to hunt.
Yennefer, this isn't the answer. There's a catch here. This is a bigger bad guy.
I know how you can get it.
Oh, Lord.
Steal it. Steal what?
Me.
Fucking hell.
I'm the key to you getting your power back.
No, no, no.
Just deliver me to the right lock. A
Jesus
black door
Christ.
just outside.
Now she is using them to get exactly what they want. Like, the mother is manipulating everything to get exactly what she wants. And I just have a really horrible feeling that the season might end with her getting everything she wants. We'll have to wait till season 3 to see what happens next. Oh my god. So now Yennefer's going to be on. Everyone is hunting Ciri. Everyone and their mother is hunting Ciri. she and Geralt are now back on the move, which in some ways will make them more protected because they're not going to like be holed up in one place, but in other ways it's going to make them extremely vulnerable because, you know, they're not going to be holed up in a giant castle. Oh, stress. I love that Yennefer got off the ship. You know, I was gonna, if she had chosen to stay on it and just be like, it's not my problem, I don't have magic, I can't do anything to help him, I would have been kind of a little disappointed, but I would have been like, look, given everything, I get it. But I'm really proud of her that she got off that ship. I think that shows you how far she's come and what her true colours are, because she had no power, she had no way, like, you know, she had her wits, and I hope that in some ways that could show her that, yes, I hope she finds a way to get her magic back, although stealing it from Ciri, that's not what I wanted to do. But regardless, her getting her access to chaos back, I sincerely, desperately hope she does. But I hope that this episode helped to show her that she's not totally helpless without it. Like, yes, she ran into the shop to the woman's house, the brothely lady, and got arrested, but she saved Jaskier's life. That made Distel out there, and I think probably he didn't hunt them down any further because it was kind of clear that, like, Jaskier wasn't that brave, and he probably would have said something. And, you know, it's not like his songs are, here is Geralt's diary. But yeah, so he's after them. Yennefer's going to be after them now. And Yennefer and Geralt left things in such a difficult place. Now, I don't think Yennefer would be evil and, like, hurt Ciri or do anything terrible like that. But I also do think she would go to a lot of lengths to try and get back her access to power. But hopefully she'll find them, and eventually, even if there's a little misunderstanding to begin with, we'll have a sit down, have a discussion, the stepmother can meet her stepdaughter, and I don't know, we can just, like, talk about things, figure things out, figure out, is there a way elder blood could be used in a spell to rekindle magic or something, you know, is there something like that, could Ciri help her get it back in a way that doesn't involve going to the giant rift with the broken monolith. Oh god. So this episode, so Yennefer's episode, I love Yennefer this episode, I love Yennefer and Jaskier's dynamic, and he's in a pickle right now. I wonder, as always with him, I'm like, will we see him again this season, or was that like his little moment? But maybe if she puts Yennefer back in the same city, then I suppose we will. But we got so many answers this episode, and I loved it. We got a little bit last episode with it being elder blood, but it's just, oof, that story in episode 1, I was so like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if that's how she comes from? Then I was like, oh, but witches and elves elves and people, but yep, that makes so much, like, that is such an interesting little tidbit they threw in. And then, yeah, so an elven warrior fell in love with a human mage and conceived a child, and then they were on opposing sides of the war, and she killed him, and left, and was dying herself, and so left her baby somewhere that went on to become Queen of Sintra. Whether she was the queen herself or whether she married in, I need to actually go back and look and see what it said under the king's name. But I presume there is no family line for her, either because they hid it, everyone knew who her parents were, but they were like, the history books aren't going to, or because she was a foundling child and everyone was like, oh, who knows who her parents are, but this is a fancy blanket she's wrapped around in, so she must be rich. That is so fascinating, and to know where the powers came from. And clearly they were dormant in Calanthe. Were they dormant in everyone? Like, how far back did it go? It wasn't that many generations back. And the idea that part of why Calanthe was so brutal on elves, so vicious and cruel, and like the worst parts of Calanthe's character were in her treatment of the elves, was because she knew that that was part of her bloodline. And so did she think, like, did she have a sense of racism against elves and therefore, like, I'm unpure, but if I cleanse the world of other elves, therefore I make up for it? I don't know, but it really puts into question what happened the night Ciri's parents died, because they were frightened. They'd got access to a prophecy that clearly didn't become common knowledge, although it seems Nilfgaard has it. They had access to a prophecy that would, the one that I suppose we've heard a few times, and that Triss was terrified by, that Ciri will cause the end of everything. And they loved their daughter, and they were frightened that the people would want her dead, because if you kill someone that's going to end everything, everything gets to stay. And that, to me, wouldn't be, then as parents, we're just going to go on a boat trip. To me, that would be, we're going to grab our kid and run and try and hide and disappear to a place where no one can find us, so no one will hurt our child. Which, does that suggest Calanthe went after them and somehow in the chaos of that they died and Ciri was saved? Because that would put, again, a whole other spin on Calanthe and her relationship with Pavetta and Ciri. And again, there is no proof of that. Maybe they were going to go and try and find something that would break prophecies or, you know, free a child from their destiny or something. And maybe it was purely just like, you know, going off to try and get information and had nothing to do with Calanthe. But that is a potential, which is really interesting. And for Ciri, I'm so glad that she finally has a little bit more of an understanding of her heritage and her legacy, that she is a child of elder blood, that she came down that line. That famous story that was put into that beautiful little box that entranced her was her family. That's her story. That's part of her legacy, who she is. The weight of that. And could she somehow be somebody that could help heal the divides, because they hoped, you know, that their first child would be the one to heal the divides. And I truly believe the way Fringilla seems to wholeheartedly, genuinely be working with Francesca gives me hope that there is a way forward in which humans and elves could work together. And of course, there will always be bigots, and there will always be those who, like, those on the elvish side who hate anyone who's human because humans have done such wrong to their people. And even if you think, well, that one hasn't, you know, they just blanket hate them. And then there'll be humans who are ignorant and bigoted and hate all elves because they've been taught to. That's never going to go anywhere. But if you were to give them a kingdom, give them land, give them a place, and if they were willing to accept one place, which is not exactly reparation for losing their entire land, but it's something, then could we not find a way where they could just be one of the kingdoms? Could be Zalintran. I mean, I'm sorry, Ciri, that, you know, you're going to lose your kingdom, but, you know, you got Geralt. I don't know, I just feel like the way they have formed a partnership that seems genuine on both sides. Now maybe down the line one of them's going to be like, ha ha ha, I've been using you all along. But they genuinely seem like two women who know what it's like to be at the top, know how hard it is, and are working together. And that shows you that humans and elves, it's not mutually exclusive. They can find common ground, they can make peace. Cahir, of course, is back and is still desperate to get Ciri by the seams of it. And yeah, he's not going to like that Fringilla has superseded him for a bit. So we'll have to see what happens there with that dynamic and whether there is any outbreak. Because I assume that there are some Cintran citizens left behind, or did they literally slaughter everyone who was Cintran? It seemed like they slaughtered everybody. And that's the thing, the people that are alive under them might be having a better life, but they have that better life through the blood of many other innocent people. So then the other information we had, other than getting kind of confirmation on the whole prophecy thing, on where Ciri's extra special powers come from, was the monoliths. And I kind of thought last season the fact that he was obsessed with monoliths was just like a quirk of his character, but it's such a vital part of it. And the idea that the conjunction, they've always assumed the conjunction, like everything came together and is now one, whereas now it seems like they think it came and it went boop, and now they're still out there. That is so interesting, because does that mean there are other worlds out there, worlds that have some humans and some monsters? And I mean, if this was the elven world, I suppose there are no worlds with elves, but does that suggest that's the case somehow? And that someone did this intentionally? And who did this intentionally? Would it have been an elf? There's such fascinating, there's so much more to that mystery and that story that I'm so excited to uncover and to get more answers to. And the idea that, yeah, it was done intentionally or something, and that they didn't combine, they kind of just bumped, is so interesting, because in a lot of ways it's kind of like the way our theories of the universe, like we used to believe that the planets rotated around the Earth and then we realised they rotated around the Sun. It's exactly that kind of scientific breakthrough that they're having here. And the connection of Ciri to this, that when she screamed and she broke the monolith, now there are it seems like every time she uses her power in some way, it activates and it lets them through. Maybe it's more than that, maybe it's just kind of every now and then it happens, but it's tied to Ciri. And I don't know, either they're going after her because they want to bring her to the place so that to make her scream and make her activate again and combine everything. Did it go wrong last time? Did they not combine properly? Do they want to just bump them again? But Ciri is integral, and it helps to explain why she is so integral to it all. Why the monsters are going after her. And then it just adds so many layers to this mother figure. You know, is it the demon that Vesemir was talking about? But this mother figure who, you know, she's seemingly given them everything she wanted, but has what, like, obviously for some reason for her plans, She's aligned to this whole prophecy thing, and she's aligned to the White Flame. She wants Nilfgaard to succeed, which is why she persuaded the elves to join them, because it bolsters their numbers and it gives them a lot more knowledge and skill. She wants Yennefer to take Ciri to the monolith site, because whether that will give Yennefer her powers back or not, who bloody knows? It may do nothing for Yennefer's powers, but if she were to do that, it would help them do whatever their evil plan is. She's 3,000 steps ahead of us, and it's terrifying that we don't even know the full scope of who this creature is and what she wants. Would the combination free her? Is that the thing? There's just so many different layers here. And again, there's so much to answer for. If Calanthe had just been honest about everything, maybe Ciri would have been armed with more knowledge and would have known more of how to use her powers, or would have had some kind of knowledge like that. Then the whole thing with making new witches. My struggle with the idea of making new witches is simply that I think it is a barbaric process, that it kills a lot of people, it causes them suffering. It means that their entire life will be spent fighting and hunting and being ostracized. And maybe we need them, but I don't know that anyone deserves to go through that. And I think for Geralt, at least, he's very much, he's a witcher, he's proud of it, he loves his brothers, he will do his job faithfully, but when he had that vision of his mother, he was cross with her about it. The idea of Ciri going through it would be the worst thing in the world for him. Now, is the whole thing with girls can't be witches genuinely just sexism, or was it that they tried it on girls in the past and it didn't work? But I think Vesemir kind of lost himself a little bit to his excitement at getting it all back, at being able to rebuild the witches themselves, and kind of forgetting that how many children would suffer as a result, and the fact that those children would need a good few years of training before they could even be vaguely useful, and it seems like all the problems are happening now. So I wonder whether at the end there that was him questioning, what Geralt said about the past and learning from it and healing from it. Is he going to realise that, oh no, the time of witches is passing, this is the end? Or was he just like, oh yes, I shouldn't have used Geralt's daughter. Okay, let me find some orphan boys. I don't know. I'm concerned about that. And for Ciri, my heart really breaks for her, and it always has done, ever since Sintra fell. My heart breaks for everyone in the show, but ever since Sintra fell, my heart's been breaking for that girl. She is amazing. She has survived so much, and she is still strong, and she is still brave, and she still faces her fears, and goes for everything head first. I think she's an inspirational character in so many ways, and she still feels like she doesn't belong, like she's not enough. And being told that you're cursed to destroy everything, and having a woman that you've really looked up to and who's been so kind and supportive to you suddenly terrified of you and not wanting you to touch her and saying you're going to end the world would throw you off balance a little bit. But she truly just wanted to feel like she found a place where she belonged. And if she could become a witcher, then all those witches out there would truly accept her. She would belong with Geralt rather than just kind of being something he's stuck with as a child of destiny or whatever. I think it meant a lot to her when Geralt told her she was already amazing, that she was already enough. They obviously do have to have the discussion about prophecies of ending worlds and elder blood and everything, but I think that was a really sweet, important moment. And yeah, what's Triss going to do with the knowledge she has if she takes that back to the mages? They're surely going to also want to hunt Ciri. Everyone is just going to be hunting this Strigobord's going to be like, you mean there's a magical girl I can kill? Show me. Because that man is evil. But no, I'm just, we've got so many answers, there are still so many questions, and just, the last 2 episodes are going to be a lot, aren't they? So a reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.